Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on September 24th, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. And okay, so in terms of the data that came out today, we had PMI numbers out of the Eurozone. They were negative, and as a result of that, we saw Euro drop. And the PMI number here was positive, but it was kind of mixed because the flash services PMI was below expectations. So mixed data from the US here. And coming up here, we have Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda speaking here. And in terms of our geopolitical developments, here we have an article from Reuters here. I would highly encourage you to go check out this article on their site, where they're saying that now not only do we have the US pointing finger at Iran, but we also have Britain, France, and Germany blaming Iran for the attack on the Saudi oil fields. So, excuse me. I would suggest looking into this article. So essentially the implication of it on our trading would be in regards to the safe haven assets, which means our yen crosses are likely to drop more if we continue to hear these kind of comments. So just keep an eye on the developments on that front. Okay, so in terms of the news here, coming up tomorrow, we have business climate numbers here for Germany that will have an impact on the euro. So if they come in below the forecasted number here, we're likely to see euro drop. We also have RBA Governor Lau speaking. Again, anytime there are central bankers speaking, it's very important to pay attention to their comments, because especially right now with everybody expecting interest rate cuts, if they say anything about cutting interest rates, that will be negative for that currency. So just keep that in mind. We also have consumer confidence numbers out of the US in the morning here in the New York session. So that will be important. And the trade balance numbers here, these are very important. So if we see that the numbers come in below the expectations here, we're likely to see New Zealand dollar drop. We also have monetary policy meeting minutes from Japan here, and not really expecting much of a change from Bank of Japan at this point. They're probably, they're most likely in the wait and see scenario at the moment. But we do have our rate statement here from a Reserve Bank of New Zealand, and not expecting an interest cut at this point. However, we have to just keep an eye on how their comments or what kind of comments they come out with, because it will be in the comments that we will see how they are leaning. So that's what we have in terms of data. So let's move on to our charts here. All right, so here we are looking at the Euro US dollar daily chart. We were looking for price to drop. We did get that drop today, so we still have a bearish candle close here. So bias is to the downside. I am looking for price to drop further, potentially into this 1.0920 level, because this is the range price has been trading in for last little bit here. So price has rejected the high here. And over the last couple of days, we have seen price drop. So now looking at price to drop further. So bias is to the downside here. Now, one thing to keep in mind, though, is we are pretty much into support here. So we could, as we saw, price did bounce off of there. We could see more response in terms of support there. But overall, though, bias is to the downside. Target here is 1.0920 for euro dollar. Pound dollar as well, we had a nice drop today. So now looking for a further drop. Now keep in mind though, we are coming into the support. So this is a very important level here. price had trouble getting through this level to the other side. So we could expect it to come into play on this side here as well. So keep that in mind. So for now, though, bias is bearish. First target is this support and resistance at 1.2380. Now, if it doesn't break through, then we could see it go back into this range that it's been trading in. But bias is to the downside. Once we see a break, I would look for a continuation here. But if it doesn't break down, then it could hold above this 1.2380. So keep that in mind. But bias is to the downside. And first target is 1.2380. Second target here is 1.2280. So bearish bias for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one, we have a small candle close here. Price was just sideways for the most part. So looking for price to drop here. So the bias here is bearish, but we could get a pullback into 0.68 level and then a drop here. So basically looking, as long as price stays below 0.6800, I am looking for price to drop further. Target is 0.6680. So bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. So all the way down here, that's what I'm looking for. So bias is bearish here. New Zealand dollar here, this one as well, bias is bearish. Okay, so actually I would say neutral here. Now we are into the support resistance level. So if price stays below this one, then I will look for price to drop. Now, if for some reason price breaks through this level, then we could see it go up further. And if the comments from the Central Bank, Reserve Bank of New Zealand are bullish for some reason, which I'm not expecting them to be, but just in case they are, then we could see this one go up as well. But for now, as long as price stays below 0.6300, I should say, then price, I'm looking for it to move to the downside. Overall bias is to the downside here, but this one could pull back higher. So be mindful of that it could pull back higher. We have had a steep drop here for last several days. So we could get a higher pullback in that sense. So bias here is neutral because we could see a pullback potentially into 0.6335 level here as well. So keep those two levels in mind. Dollar CAD here, this one is trading in the range still. We see price has rejected the high here. So this level here has been rejected several times now. That means we could see a drop here. So today's candle close here is a pin bar. So I would look for price to drop here. First target is 1.3220, which is our first target, and 1.3180 is the second target. So bias is bearish here for dollar CAD. All right, we are into our commodities here. We'll start off with silver. So silver here, we had a small bullish candle here, big move to the upside here for silver today, just shot up. So this is where we have to keep in mind the geopolitical situation. We saw that all the yen crosses dropped, so all the safe haven assets have actually gone up. The yen went up, yen strengthened, as well as Swiss franc strengthened. That's why we saw the moves there. So all the safe haven assets strengthened, as well as silver, which is also safe haven asset here. So bias is bullish here. This is a big move up. So we could get a pullback. Keep that in view. So first potential level for pullback would be 18.45, or we have 18.30 level here for potential pullback. And then I will look for a further move to the upside here. So bias is bullish, but because we have such a big move here, if it doesn't go through, this one could turn. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, I would look for a further move here. So we have to see a break through the high and then a continuation move higher. So bias here is bullish for silver. Gold here, gold has moved up as well. So bias is bullish, but with this one, keep in mind, we are almost into, or we are right into our support resistance level. So if price does not go through that level, it can just turn around here and come back into this range that it has been trading in for some time now. And then this could give us our head and shoulders pattern for a continuation to the downside. For now, though, we are into that shoulder and we don't know which way it's going to go. If it holds below 1528, then I will look for a drop. But the bias today is bullish. And for that to play out, we do need to see a break through the high, potential pullback, and then a move higher. So bias here is bullish. First target is 1535, then 1555. Oil here, oil is still going sideways. It's holding that very narrow range that it's been trading in for several days here. It did go towards the bottom of the range, got pushed back up. So at this point, this one is neutral. We really need to see a break either through the high, so we could target the next high, next level here, or we need to see a break through the support, so we can target the next support area here at 5640. So for now, bias is just neutral for oil. Copper's looking good here. Price came into the support, tried to break through, did not work. So we have a bullish candle close. I will look for price to move higher. The target here is 2.60. Now, if it stays below that, so if price goes into 2.60 and stays below that, then we could get a move back into this range that it's been trading in again. So keep that in mind. For now, bias is, our bias is bullish. But right now where it is, there's support resistance as well. So if it doesn't go through, chances are it could drop. For now, though, bias is bullish. 2.60 is the target. All right, Bitcoin here. Bitcoin has dropped today. We have a bearish candle close, so looking for price to move lower. 92.80 would be the next target here. So bearish bias here for Bitcoin. All right, S&P 500. This one is neutral. Today's candle close is neutral. We did see a drop in equities, but price came back to close at a neutral position. So the candle is completely indecision candle here. So in this case, bias is neutral. This is the range we've been stuck in for several days now. And till we get a concrete break either above or below, we are neutral. So right now, bias is neutral. And I am just looking for price to just basically go back and forth in this range. Now, at some point, if it drops below, then I will look for a further move to the downside into this next level here. But for now, bias is just neutral and just targeting 30.20 and 29.75 will be the two levels that price is going back and forth between. NASDAQ here, this one as well, it's a neutral candle close here. Price has just been trading in this narrow range. So just looking for price to stay within this range. If price comes to the bottom here and breaks through this level, then we could see a drop to the next area here. Otherwise, bias still stays neutral. So for now, neutral bias and looking for 77.65. If it breaks through, then 7,700. DAX here, this one has, this one dropped here. So this one's looking bearish, but keep in mind, this one is still holding above this previous bottom of the range. So for this one to continue lower, we have to see a drop and then a continuation lower. Otherwise, price could just get stuck going back and forth here as well. So with this one, bias is neutral. Again, with caution though, because this has to be broken for it to continue lower. But seems like it's struggling now. So we're getting lower highs here and we could see price drop further. So bearish bias for DAX and target is 12,200. Footsie here, this one is going sideways as well in a very, very narrow range for the last several days. That's what we've been seeing. Price didn't come into the support, and then we had a move higher here, so it pulled back. So with this one, I will look for a retest of the high of the range here, 73.80, and if it doesn't break through, then we're likely to see a drop back down, going sideways here. So neutral bias here for Footsie. And last but not least here, we have Nikkei here. So today's candle close was bearish, but this one has also been sideways here. So the bias is bearish, I would say, for today. And we need to see a drop through this level for it to continue, though, because this is into important support and resistance. So if price does not break through 12,840 level, then it's very likely then this goes sideways still. If it does break through, though, then I will look for a next target of 21,750. So for now, bias is bearish. But just keep in mind, if it doesn't break down through 21,850, then it's likely to hold above. All right, so that's all I have for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day tomorrow, and I will see you again tomorrow evening. Bye for now.